Kathana Shastra are like lighthouses guiding and helping countless to navigate the world of Kannada storytelling. I'm glad to welcome all of you for this seminar to commemorate the birth centenary of Dr. G.S. Amoor. Friends, in every cultural landscape, there appears personalities from time to time who make substantial contribution to enrich that culture and literature. There also appear distinguished personalities who create immortal works that impact the world beyond their culture, and there comes once in a lifetime personalities who leave indelible mark on the regional, national and international literary milieus. And it is these personalities who reshape and redefine critical thinking spheres in all the cultures. Dr. G.S. Amoor, whose birth centenary we are commemorating today, belongs to the last category. When one has to talk about Dr. Amoor, it is always a struggle as to where to begin and where to end. So huge was his contribution to the Indian and world literatures. One would always miss out one or the other of Dr. Amoor's contributions, even if one were to write a doctoral thesis or a multi-volume work. Dr. Amoor wrote extensively on Kannada cultural milieu, on Kannada novels, short stories, poetry, engaged himself in creative writing in Kannada, and his work goes beyond Kannada world. If his engagement in separate from Braj Kachru, mostly but at times on the same road, on the sounds and meanings is fascinating. He took the world by storm, as it were, by creating mind-blogging amount of critical literature pertaining to Indian English literature, along with K.R. Srinivasa Iyengar, M.K. Nayak and C.T. Narasimhaya. Kannada world should be proud of these pioneers, as 3 out of 4 were from Karnataka. Of these doyens, Dr. Amoor is unique for his sheer profoundly and range of engagement not only with Indian literature but also with American and post-colonial literatures. I can count easily the number of Indian critics who have made such vast contributions to literature of different parts of the world, even while counting to contribute to literature in one's mother tongue. Dr. Amoor is that all tall, a colossus who excelled in every subject he touched. He was not engaged merely in creative writing and criticism. He wrote monographs and biographies of the writers who made seminal contributions to the enrichment of regional as well as Indian literature. One aspect of Dr. Amoor's work that people often overlook or ignore is his translation. Dr. Amoor was an expert translator. Sahitya Akademi is fortunate to have published half a dozen of his translations. He wrote about plays and dramas of Karnataka and India, Legend Janmejay and other plays, the anthologies of Sriranga's plays that he compiled and edited about 2 decades ago remains one of the most sought after reference works on Indian plays. He wrote on comedy too. In fact, his doctoral thesis was on the concept of comedy, and the work published 62 years ago remained for decades the only Asian entry in Wesen und Formen des Komödischem Drama, that is nature and forms of the comedy in drama, that was published first 50 years ago. Among his Kannada works, if Kannada Kathana Sahitya, Kadambari, and Kannada Kathana Sahitya Sannakatha were the hallmarks of excellence, his Kadambari of Swarupa and Kathana Shastra are like lighthouses guiding and helping countless to navigate the world of Kannada storytelling. Along with M.K. Nayak's A History of Indian English Literature, that is published by Sahitya Akademi, Dr. Amoor's critical essays on Indian writing in English remains not only a reference point but also a hallmark of excellence. Dr. Amoor also wrote extensively on the images, metaphors, themes, structures, enthralling and educating the readers and connoisseurs by bringing together best philosophies and theories of numerous traditions from around the world in every single piece of his writings. He wrote remarkably about the doyens who dominated Kannada and literary milieu while remembering each of them with gratitude. D.R. Bendre, Shantinath Desai, A.N. Krishna Rayaru, Sriranga, Manohar Malgaonkar, Raja Rao, and many other doyens. It is this humility and down-to-earth demeanor that endeared Dr. Amoor to millions. It is not as if only people of the past talked about Dr. Amoor. In this centenary year also, people are recollecting and remembering Dr. Amoor with respect. This is a Kannada program and it is happening in Bangalore, so I will conclude by quoting single lines from three critics of contemporary period from Karnataka, while also mentioning few names from Kannada world. Dr. H.S. Raghavendra Rao on Amoor and Kannada criticism, I quote, Professor Amoor always created new critical frameworks and he was single-handedly responsible for expanding the scope of Kannada criticism, unquote. Professor N.S. Gundur on Amoor and translating Kannada literary words, I quote, initially, Amoor held a strong opinion that English works should be translated into Kannada. However, later he accepted that to introduce the rich Kannada literature and culture to the world, Kannada literary works should be translated into English, unquote. Sri T.P. Ashok. Professor Amoor, besides being an eminent, serious critic, was also a man with a great sense of humor. Had there been a political will and monetary support, many of Amoor's works and that of other Kannada critics would have been translated into many languages across the world, unquote. Eminent scholars like Professor Rajendra Chenni, Dr. M.G. Hegde, Professor Raghavendra Patil, who was with us today, and Veena Santeshwar, among many other contemporary scholars from Karnataka, have spoken or written about the greatness and impact of works of Dr. Amoor on different occasions. So with these few words, I am glad to welcome all of you for this seminar to commemorate the birth centenary of Dr. G.S. Amoor. But after going through all this, his works and all, I thought he should be celebrated nationally, not at regionally. So we can think on this Kalgudi Sahab later, because his contribution is to Indian literature, not just Kannada literature. Thank you so much.